Thanks for the chair. David, would you close the doors for me? You don't have to lock them. Just close them. I'm going to start with the Bible. Because, let's do the eye of God. That's what that thing is called. It's some kind of a thing that was taken by the Hubble telescope. Yeah, it's a what? Okay, it's a whatchala. Anyway, if that is truly the eye of God, then we know that God is a cyclops and has one blue eye. All right. So this thing of having this person, facilitator of transformation, show up at our center is not out of alignment with who we are. It's not even out of alignment with the Christian faith. So that's why you're going to get a little Bible, is to just demonstrate that to you very quickly. On John 14:10 it says, Do you not believe that I am with my Father? My Father is with me. The Father who abides within me does the work. Remember that one? How about this one? I and the Father are one. All right, so he's established that Jesus and God are the same. And then when they ask him how to pray, he says, pray in this manner, Our Father. All right? He's not making himself separate. He's saying this is how it works. Now the idea of Father worked at that time. It worked at that time because before that, God was a vengeful presence. Oh, hi there. God was a vengeful presence. And it was Jesus' job to turn around and say, no, this thing works for you. And he used a personality to create that. And that's great. Almost 2,000 years ago. Okay? Where we are today, we got to look at this thing more conceptually. So let's try what Holmes says about this idea of healing. He says under a subcategory called the Christ, he says, if we could stand aside and let the one perfect life flow through us, we could not but help healing people. This is the highest form of healing. So what Rob Morgan does is really, even though he's chattering while he's up here, is getting out of the way and letting that whole essence of life flow through and touch us. Isn't that great? That does not make him better than us. It does not make him more God than us. The idea is that we're all in this together. Rob brings us a piece that helps. It is not in any way inconsistent with the teaching of science of mind. Some people will say, well, it says that there's nothing to heal, only truth to be revealed. Well, when you reveal the truth, you get healed. That's how it works. So we let that be so. It's the first Sunday of the year. There's a tradition in Science of Mind that's been going on for a long time, but you probably have noticed about me that I'm not good at following other people's traditions. But I'm going to today, because the tradition is the first Sunday of the year that the name of the talk is the thing itself. That is the first chapter in the Science of Mind. The thing itself. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Holmes writes a great piece about this and really opens us up to the idea that this thing that we seek in life is not God. It is not God. What does that mean? How do we abuse that idea? How do we try to turn that into a person? God is not a person. God is not a being. Spinoza, the great Spanish philosopher, once said that if we asked a triangle what God was, and the triangle could respond, the triangle would say that God is a triangle. Meaning that we as human beings try to turn this divine presence into something that we can relate to, like a God. Okay, that happens all the time, but really to embrace this philosophy and to use it fully, you must let go of that notion. You must know that this is a principle we speak of. A principle that we speak of. So we go to the first chapter. No, that's not it. There it is. I know it looks like a Bible, but it's really the Science of Mind text. We go to this thing called the thing itself, and in the third paragraph he writes We see abundance in the universe. We cannot count the grains of sand on a single beach. The earth contains untold riches, and the very air is vibrant with power. Why then are we weak, poor, and afraid? Why are we weak, poor, and afraid? When everything in the universe tells us that there's something amazing going on, and that we can't be separate from that. We are divine beings of love and light, yet we suppress that. We hold back from that. We live in a miserable state. Not you guys, everybody else. But we've all been there. We've all played that game that something's wrong. And when we think that, this thing that we're speaking of, the thing itself, responds perfectly. And we have a miserable life. Something is wrong. The thought that we had that is creating our life. So we get in our way. Thank God we have somebody. Thank God, here we go. We have somebody like Rob Wergen that's going to kind of shake us up. Barbara and I have been shaking you guys up for years. And it's worked because many of you have much better lives than you had when you showed up here. Including me. Much better life than I had before I showed up here. Because we seek with vigilance to practice this idea that what we're thinking about and how we're perceiving life is what's being created before us. That's what we're into. But the thing is that if we're using the teachings that we teach here, we suddenly find that life looks a little different. What do we want if we don't want God? Holmes says we want freedom. He said that's the thing that will make it work, to set ourselves free. In the same paragraph he writes, the divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God-ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. All instinctively feel it. The truth points to freedom under law. Thus, the inherent nature of man is forever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom. So we want to be free. We want to be free of all this stuff that we don't want in life. That's our first call. How do we do that? Well, we let go of the thoughts we have that hold us in bondage. That density that Rob spoke of a few minutes ago. That's the thing that holds us. And we think that somehow that keeps us securely involved in life on planet Earth. But what it does is it tethers us to an unreality. That we are not here to live full and free and rich lives. But we are. We are here to do that very thing. I'm going to go back. I know I'm hitting you guys hard with quotes, but this is important. This one's in Matthew. It's chapter 21, verse 21. He had just done that thing with the fig tree, where it wasn't producing, and he did something, and the thing shriveled up and died right before everybody. And they were, whoa. He says to them, truly I say to you, if you have faith and do not doubt, you will perform a deed not only like this, but you could say to the mountain, fall into the sea, and it will be done. You think he was lying? He wasn't lying. You could. He also said, these things and greater will you do. There are many people who think because when all the apostles had made their transformation or transition and left their bodies, that there would be no more miracles in the world. That's garbage. Miracles are a part of our lives, and miracle is just a word that says something happened that we don't understand, so we'll call it a miracle. The truth is that we create our experience. And we use facilitators. We use practitioners all the time around here. Individuals or collective when there's a great urgency. What a gift. What a gift. And a practitioner is not a more spiritually evolved person than anyone else in this room. They simply have done some training. And I love Rob Wergen, but he's not more spiritually evolved than the rest of us. He has the ability to facilitate some wonderful thing that we can gain from. So the thing itself is the idea that you can live that free, full, lasting life by simply knowing who you are and living life from that awareness of the highest reality of God at the point of view. That's who we are. That's what we're here to do. Now, that doesn't mean I'm saying any of us have done anything wrong. Every one of us on our circuitous route through life have done exactly what we needed to do to experience what it took to get right here, right now, so that we can have the awakening that we seek. It's all there for us. It's always been. And if we're ready now, we'll have it. So I invite you to come on Wednesday and let's see what happens together. Let's continue. Let's go to Barbara's class on Monday night and see what we can learn about living that successful, full, rich life. It's really about getting out of our way. That's our job. Let's get out of the way and let's live that incredible life. The thing itself is a principle. The principle that says what we think is created into our lives and reflected back to us. That's how life works. It always works that way, whether you believe it or not, whether you embrace it or not, whether you want it to or not. That's how it works. So let's keep doing it and doing it better. Here's what I want you to know. There is one life. It is the life of God. This life is perfect. This life is my life now. It's your life now. Say that with me. There's only one life. This life is God's life. This life is perfect. This life is my life now. Do it again. There's only one life. This life is God's life. This life is perfect. This life is my life now. That's the truth. I love you. So it is.